Part 5. Over the next few weeks, Clara and Joe became a regular sight in the cove. The townsfolk grew curious. Some would pause at the edge of the cliffs to watch. Others brought offerings, old ropes, a can of marine varnish, an extra handsaw. It felt like the town was quietly rooting for her in the way small towns often do when they see someone trying something improbable. Silas came down every other day, watching with sharp eyes and correcting their form. "No, you plane with the grain, not against it," he barked, grabbing the block plane from Clara's hands. "You want smooth, not shredded." "Got it," she muttered, cheeks red. But when she finally got it right, he didn't say anything, just handed her a cloth to wipe the dust and nodded. There were days when Clara wanted to quit, when the heat pressed down like a weight, when her arms throbbed and her clothes stuck to her skin. Days when drift seemed too broken to ever sail again. But then she'd find something, like an old brass fitting hidden beneath a loose plank, or a carved star in the wood near the bow, and wonder who had placed it there. She'd imagine the girl from the photo in the logbook, standing on this very deck. It felt like a promise. One morning, while clearing debris from the boat's small cabin, Clara discovered a rusted tackle box wedged under a bench. Inside were tools, wrenches, screwdrivers, a half-empty tin of wax, and beneath that, wrapped in oilcloth, a delicate compass. It was cracked but beautiful, its needle still twitching slightly when she held it steady. She showed it to Silas that afternoon. "This," he said, holding it in his calloused hands, "was well made. You can fix this. Clean the glass, polish the brass, it'll point you home again." "I don't even know where home is," Clara said. "Then maybe it'll point you to where it's supposed to be." By mid-September, the structural work was mostly done. Clara and Joe had rebuilt the rudder, patched the cracked hull, reinforced the ribs with wood Silas had milled himself. There was still no mast. She'd need to either salvage or build one, but drift was finally beginning to resemble a real boat again. One evening, they sat beneath the stars, the boat looming behind them like a whale on the sand. "What happens when it's done?" Joe asked quietly. Clara stared at the dark waves. "I don't know. Maybe I sail her. Maybe I let her go." "You'd actually leave?" Clara didn't answer right away. "Maybe not forever, but yeah, I think I want to try." Joe looked down at his shoes. "You're braver than me." "I'm not," she said. "I'm scared all the time. But this makes me feel like I'm doing something that matters. That I'm not just floating around, hoping something changes." Joe was silent for a moment, then bumped her shoulder gently. "If you do go, promise to send me a message in a bottle." Clara smiled. "Deal." As fall settled over the beach and the tourists vanished, Drift stood tall and proud in the cove. She had new ribs, fresh sealant, and a hull that gleamed golden in the morning light. Her cabin was clean and watertight, and Clara had painted a tiny star on the bow in memory of the one she'd found carved there. The boat was hers now, not just by effort, but by spirit, and soon it would be time to give her back to the sea.